All right, I'm back again with some new releases. The links and timestamps for each of the books will be down in the description, as well as a link to sign up if you're an author and want to put your book in front of me. Never guarantees that you'll be featured, but it does up your chances of me knowing that your book is available. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the picks for this week. The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman comes in at 368 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, holiday. From bookfluencer and host of the Bad on Paper podcast, a riotous holiday rom-com about four friends in NYC who hold on to their unconventional Christmas tradition even when their paths diverge, but the changes they fear might be exactly what they need. Hannah and Finn have spent every Christmas together since college. Neither has anywhere else to go. Hannah's parents died, and Finn's disowned him when he came out. Their tradition of offbeat holiday adventures only grows more outrageous with time. When the pair starts their adult lives in New York City, they add stylish Priya and mysterious Theo to the group, solidifying a found family and sense of belonging they've always craved. But now, when Finn announces a move to LA, this Christmas may be their last. Hannah is terrified of losing the family she's built for herself, even as her boyfriend nudges her toward commitment. Meanwhile, Finn struggles with the things he's about to leave behind, namely his unexpressed feelings for Theo. Does growing up mean growing apart? This Christmas, the changes these friends fear may be exactly what they need. A December to Remember by Jenny Bayliss comes in at 416 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, romantic comedy. Three bickering half-sisters must come together to compete in a series of wacky challenges to access their inheritance in a winsome holiday story from the author of The 12 Dates of Christmas. Wildly different half-sisters, Maggie, Simone, and Star, have hardly seen each other since their sprightly summers at Rowanthorpe, their eccentric father Augustus's home. Known for the fruitful ways in which his bustling knick-knack shop kept the tired town afloat, Augustus was loved by all and known by none, not even his daughters. Now, years later, the three estranged women are unexpectedly reunited at the reading of Augustus's will. Maggie, Simone, and Star are shocked to find out that Augustus has engineered a series of hoops through which the three women must jump to unlock their inheritance, the last thing any of them want to do. But Maggie and Star desperately need the money, and who would Simone be to resist? Through hilarious goose chases, community mishaps, and one heartwarming winter solstice celebration. Love, hope, and reconciliation is in the air, if only the three sisters can let themselves grasp it. The Xmas Holidays by Zoe Allison comes in at 400 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, holiday. It's hard to escape your ex when you're working together over Christmas in the Scottish Highlands, but being stuck together might be the best possible present in this sparkling new contemporary romance. Maya Bashir is dreading her drive home from Christmas and having to explain that she's just left her high-paying job and a long-term relationship, so a brief detour to her friend's festive party doesn't seem like such a bad idea until Maya walks in to find the last person she wants to see, Sam, the boy who broke her heart 8 years ago, and he's serving drinks, naked. Sam Holland is working an extra job on the sly to help his friends get by, but little did he expect Maya Bashir to come barreling back into his life, learning about his secret side hustle and taking back her old job alongside him at his daytime role as a ski instructor on the slopes of the Scottish Highlands, as both Sam and Maya realize that the reason for their heartbreak so many years ago wasn't as entirely as it seemed. They must learn to stand up for what they want the most, or else miss their second chance at love. Faking Christmas by Carrie Winfrey comes in at 336 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, holiday. Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays. complete with a fake husband and kids in this delightful, charming rom-com by Carrie Winfrey, author of Just Another Love Song. Laurel Grant works as a social media manager for Buckeye State of Mind, an Ohio tourism magazine and website. She most definitely does not run a farm, but one tiny misunderstanding leads her boss, Gilbert, to think she owns her twin sister Holly's farm, just outside of Columbus. Laurel only handles the social media for the farm, but she's happy to keep her little white lie going if it means not getting fired. She cannot be jobless again. And keep it going she must when Gilbert, recently dumped by his wife, invites himself over for the farm's big Christmas Eve dinner as advertised on Meadow Rise Farm's Instagram thanks to Laurel herself. Laurel immediately goes into panic mode to figure out how she can trick Gilbert into thinking she's basically the Martha Stewart of rural Ohio and keep her job in the process. Laurel and Holly come up with the perfect plan. All Laurel has to do is pretend to own the farm for one dinner. But Laurel shows up at the farm to find an unwelcomed guest is waiting. Max Beckett, her nemesis since Holly's wedding. The annoyingly attractive man she hates will be posing as Laurel's husband just for the evening. But when the snowstorm traps them all for the entire weekend, Laurel is going to have to figure out how to survive with her job and dignity intact. Whatever the case, this promises to be the most eventful Christmas in ages. Hex Education by Maureen Kilmer comes in at 336 pages and is pitched as women's fiction. Nice witches finish last. A guilt-ridden former coven is forced to tap into the magic of their past if they want to stop their lives from going up in flames again. On the outside, luxury realtor Sarah Nelson looks like every other mom in the neighborhood. She runs errands and begrudgingly volunteers at the high school concession stand. But she has an edge that others don't. She's a witch, and no one knows, except her estranged ex-coven and college friends, Katrina and Alicia. One terrible night during their freshman year, the trio accidentally burned down their dorm, and soon after they scattered. Their secret had been safe until Sarah learns they've been invited back to commemorate the anniversary of the fire. Suddenly, the magic doesn't want to be kept at bay. Sarah's orange tabby cat, Katie Purry, now argues with her. Her self-brooming broom has gone full Martha Stewart, and her fridge self-stocks 30 pounds of sliced turkey for school lunches. As it grows increasingly difficult to hide the magic and the past, Sarah, Katrina, and Alicia must harness their power together to keep their secrets safe before they find out if polite society still burns witches. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed comes in at 384 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, fantasy, historical. Best-selling author Ava Reed makes her YA debut in this haunting standalone dark academia fantasy, perfect for fans of Melissa Albert and Aaron A. Craig. Effie Sayer has always believed in fairy tales. She had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She's found solace only in the pages of Angarard, author Emery's author Amir's Mirden's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's tattered, dog-eared copy is all that's keeping her afloat at Lear's prestigious architecture college. So, when Mirden's family announces a contest to redesign the late author's estate, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But Heareth Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit house on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, someone else has already made a temporary home there. Preston Hellery, a stodgy young literary scholar, is studying Mirden's papers and is determined to prove her favorite author is a fraud. As the two rivals piece together clues about the reclusive author's legacy, dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspire against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. Part historical fantasy, part rivals to lovers romance, part gothic mystery, and all haunting, dreamlike atmosphere, Ava Reed's powerful YA debut is also an unflinching indictment of institutions that sacrifice young girls on the altar of men's genius, and a gripping read that will stay with you long after its final page. Three Holidays and a Wedding by Uzma Jalaluddin and Marissa Stapley comes in at 368 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, romantic comedy. A multi-faith holiday rom-com about the delightful havoc that occurs when Christmas, Eid, and Hanukkah all fall at the same time, and two strangers turned friends are snowbound in the charming town of Snow Falls, along with the cast and crew of a holiday romance movie, nosy family members, and their lifelong crushes. Three times the holiday magic, three times the chaos. As strangers and seatmates, Miriam Aziz and Anna Gibson fly to Toronto over the holidays, Miriam to her sister's impromptu wedding, and Anna to meet her boyfriend's wealthy family for the first time, neither expect that severe turbulence will scare them into confessing their deepest hopes and fears to one another. At least they'll never see each other again, and the love of Miriam's life, safe, wasn't sitting 2 rows behind them hearing it all. Oops. When Anna, Miriam, Saif, and Miriam's sister's bridal party are snowbound at the quirky Snowfalls Inn on the outskirts of a picture-perfect town where a holiday romance starring Anna's actor crush is being filmed, chaos ensues. But as Miriam and Anna start to feel the magic of Snow Falls and find love beyond their deepest hopes, they just might realize there's no place they'd rather be for the holidays. Unleashed Holiday by Victoria Skade comes in at 352 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, romantic comedy. When an old rival reappears right before the holidays, a professional dog trainer must decide if the melting frost between them can make up for their rough past. From the USA Today best-selling author of Dog Friendly. Chelsea Higgins is doing just fine. She's heading into the holidays at the helm of a thriving dog training business, and she's got a mellow senior dog at home to keep her warm at the end of the day. What more could she need? Enter certified gym bro Andrew Gibson, Chelsea's former nemesis and now the newest neighbor in her business complex, who also wants to expand into the vacant space that Chelsea's been eyeing for months. Who cares if it's the season of joy? Let the turf war begin. When an unfortunate and literal run-in with Andrew's lawless dog leaves Chelsea with a bum wrist, the two strike a deal. Andrew will help Chelsea rehab the injury if she'll work with him to train his adorably uncivilized boxer. Their typical bickering soon turns to bantering, and Chelsea finds herself inexplicably drawn to the man she thought she had nothing in common with. As she gets to know Andrew and his parents, she realizes she needs to refocus on her own family, especially with a milestone Christmas speeding toward them. But Chelsea can't help wondering if she and Andrew are training for keeps, or if this unexpected Christmas gift is just too good to be true. Unrealistic Expectations by Andy J. Christopher comes in at 304 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, romantic comedy. When a relationship therapist gets dumped right before her new dating handbook hits shelves, she fake dates to save face in this spicy romantic comedy. There are a lot of things that can go wrong on an author's publication day, but breaking up with her long-term boyfriend might just be top of the list. She also didn't expect to run into her old crush, Gavin Baker, the very next day. When Jessica goes into crisis mode about the PR nightmare, she proposes the first solution that comes to mind: fake dating. Luckily, Gavin seems game. Gavin Baker is used to being a constant disappointment, which is why he can't and won't commit to a relationship. Unfortunately for him, his last girlfriend used her vast social media power to make sure everyone knows just how much Gavin underperforms. Fake dating the Jessica for her book promotion seems like the perfect cover. And maybe she can teach him something along the way. Hookups for science? And some seriously sweet gestures later, Jessica and Gavin's fake dates are feeling more authentic than any previous relationship did. Have they replaced unrealistic expectations with unexpected realness? The Christmas Wager by Holly Cassidy comes in at 336 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, holiday. A delightful enemies to lovers holiday rom-com set in the quaint mountain town of Maple Falls, Colorado, about a city girl and a small town boy who compete in the town's annual holiday games in order to win the right price for a charming local Christmas shop, perfect for fans of the hating game and the 12 dates of Christmas. One rivalry, 8 days until Christmas, let the holiday games begin. When LA-based real estate developer Bella Ross arrives in the sleepy mountain town of Maple Falls, she has one mission: to acquire the local failing Christmas shop. Always Noel, securing the promotion of her dreams. Nothing can get in her way except the shop owner's stubborn grandson, Jesse Harrison. Jesse sorry. Both refuse to budge until an unlikely wager is struck. Bella and Jesse will compete in the Maple Falls Holiday Games, an annual tradition of eccentric feats of strength and skill. Winner decides the selling price. They'll give each other a run for their money. But as the competition heats up, Bella and Jesse's icy feelings toward each other begin to thaw. It'll take a Christmas miracle for them to admit there's a spark. But what if it's just another game? The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary comes in at 368 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, holiday. Two hotel receptionists and arch rivals find a collection of old wedding rings and compete to return them to their owners, discovering their own love story along the way. It's the busiest season of the year, and Forest Manor Hotel is quite literally falling apart. So when Izzy and Lucas are given the same shift at the hotel's front desk, they have no choice but to put their differences aside and see it through. The hotel won't stay afloat beyond Christmas without some sort of miracle, but when Izzy returns a guest's lost wedding ring, the reward convinces management that this might be the way to fix everything. With 4 rings still sitting in the lost and found, the race is on for Izzy and Lucas to save their beloved hotel and their jobs. As their bitter rivalry turns into something much more complicated, Izzy and Lucas begin to wonder if there's more at stake here than the hotel's future. Can the two of them make it through the season with their hearts intact? Wrapped with a Boo by Lily Vale comes in at 368 pages and is pitched as fiction, romance, romantic comedy. In its heyday, Piney Peaks and its beloved Christmas house were made famous by Sleigh Bells, a romantic holiday movie. 50 years later, the small town is ready for a new love story. As a successful femme liaison, Alicia Rowe has her heart set on one thing and one thing only: putting her hometown back on the map. So, when she gets the chance to secure a sequel to Sleigh Bells, she's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure everything goes smoothly. Unfortunately, that includes claiming to have already secured permission to film at the historic Christmas house, permission she was very much denied by the gorgeous new owner. Vess Hollins is only back in Piney Peaks long enough to sell the house he inherited from his great aunt. The holidays have always been tough for Vess, and it's not any easier when he's distracted by memories of a Christmas long, long ago and the undeniable charm of neighbor Alicia. Ready for a return home to New York as quickly as possible, he has no plans to put roots or fall in love, even if Alicia unravels his hesitations like a bad Christmas sweater. There's no question the two are opposites in every way. Vess is unquestionably frosty. Alicia Alicia is brimming with warmth. He doesn't do commitment. She never runs from a challenge. But as the two grow closer, they quickly realize that the growing sparks between them may be just what the season calls for. All right, that's all the books I have for this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with friends, and leave a comment down below to let me know which of these books you plan on checking out, or if there's a different book that was not featured that you're planning on reading this week. And I will see you all next time. Bye!